I will die on that hill.
I absolutely love Miley Cyrus.
You have failed this.
Love this show.
The sickest snipe ever.
Is this?
What are we doing?
No. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Gunner, also known as Chico Noise, 3-time podcast host. Alongside me, as always, Juan Keel for 3, Colton Bala, Colton Keel, Vanilla Thunder, or if you want to be classy, you can just call him William, whatever you want to call him. I don't think I've ever seen you go by William or heard you go by William, so probably only when you're in trouble. I'm assuming when you were younger, but.
Oh yeah, no. There was a difference between getting called to the office as Colton Keel and being referred to the office as William Keel. So, yeah, I knew one was bad.
I didn't have that problem. Mom,
I had it in junior high.
Colton was a bad.
Don't worry, Dad took care of that.
He was a bad guy.
Oh,
A bad guy. Well, everybody, like I said, welcome back. I hope you've been enjoying the last couple episodes. I'm sorry the Emperor's not here for a three-peat.
I bet he's sorry too.
Yeah, I'm sure he stole my Zoom for the last couple hours, so we had to record a little bit later than our scheduled time. Emperor, come on.
Thanks.
Come on, you know our record time.
Boo. I think the revolt's coming.
Yeah, but I do want to thank him for coming on the last 2 episodes. I want to thank Jordan for being on. And then also the Golden 80s podcast came out last Thursday. So if you got a chance to listen, thanks for listening. If you have not listened, go check them out. You can find them wherever you get your podcasts. So they're also on Facebook. Just search Golden 80s podcast. Definitely excited.
Shout out to Brandon. You missed him.
Oh yeah. I was getting there.
Oh, you were? Okay, my bad.
Yes.
My
So
bad.
yeah, last week the Golden 80s podcast. So if you are going to listen to them and you want to know a little bit about them, come on and listen to last week's episode of the Call Guys, and you get to meet them. And then their first couple episodes, you get to learn a lot about them and the 80s, man, the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, help them hit the ground running. That's what's important. They get a good push off the start. That'd be great. So, Colton, how's it going, man?
It's going, brother.
Anything
It's
exciting
going. Oh, well, let's see. We got Father's Day weekend, so
Father's Day.
Going to my dad's, hanging out there all weekend, so that'll be fun.
Yeah. Dad's Day.
Yeah. I put together a Hot Wheels track for William, and man, that's fun. Little dude, he keeps putting his dinosaurs in the loops.
Cars hit it as they're going through. Now, is that a remote control one? Like you have a remote that you push the button and it goes? I remember having those as a kid. Those were so fun.
It's pretty cool. I enjoy it. And William likes to just run and get in my lap and sit and go, ooh. Especially when it goes through the loop. Oh yeah, he gets giddy.
That's fun.
He's adorable. He's a little punk.
Speaking of, we had our pictures for the website last weekend, which is fun. So if you're wanting to see what all the podcast hosts look like, if you don't watch us on YouTube, you can go check out the website, goldenmojoent.com. Pictures will be up soon. So give that some time and go check out the merch store on there. There's some fun stuff on there. So yeah. I do have a little update on how things are going for me. Some positive
How's that,
news.
brother?
Some positive
How's that,
news.
brother?
Well, I'm going to start with one. The
Okay.
big one. The big one that everybody... Actually, no, let's do that one second. Let's start with this one. Colton here helped me. He helped me this week.
Oh my gosh. I know what you're talking about now.
He helped me fix something in the house that's needed to be fixed for a long time since we moved in, which it's
oh my.
been, oh gosh, almost 7 months now.
I'm glad I didn't know about it.
Oh, you would have had me fix it. But yeah, Colton, with his job, he was able to help me out and get me a garbage disposal. And yeah, I switched that out. So Colton feeling good about fixing his microwave. I felt good about fixing a garbage disposal, although it was so simple.
Hey man, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter how simple it is. It doesn't matter.
It just feels
Something
good.
about something about fixing something with your hands and you know making something better,
Yeah.
especially on something like your house. Like you feel accomplished.
Oh, I felt very accomplished when I was done. I was like, okay, this is nice, and it's quiet. Like the last one we had was like it sounded like something was dying inside of it. This one's like nice and
Always,
quiet.
always have water in it too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Make sure you have water running when,
Oh, I was gonna
because
throw
that'll burn the
rocks. I
motor
was gonna throw
out.
rocks in there.
If you want to really know an old wise tale, keep it smelling good. Throw some lemon peels in there every once in a while.
Lemon peels. All right.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There's your tip of the day. The Colton Keel tip of the day. New call guys segment.
And don't put like huge pieces in there
Yeah.
and expect it.
Yeah. The other thing is that I got my new hard drive for the new computer, and it is currently running, and it's what we're using right now. Thank you to the Skywalker for staying up with me late at night trying to get this thing working for the past couple weeks. So I'm just happy it was so simple just to plug in and reset up some of the BIOS and get this thing going. So happy to have the computer back up and running and not have to use Sarah's laptop. Also, Sarah, if you're not listening, because I know you're not listening, thanks for letting me use your laptop. Getting it through and getting episodes put out for all our listeners, which was very important. So, I have a question for you, Cole. In light of Father's Day, it's not a question of the pod.
Like a question of,
I
not
have
a question
I
of the
have a
pod.
question of the pod also, but
Okay, what up?
This is just a Father's Day question.
What up?
What's the best part about being a dad?
Oh my, what a question. The best part about being a dad, man,
Is it a
right
loaded
now,
question?
I mean, it gets different. Like there's stages. I mean, there's gonna be, I call it, you'll have the honeymoon stage with the kid, where that first week you're just, you're getting through it, but you're like still like in awe of like the kid being there and the journey it took to come from Sarah to your arms. Like,
I'm ready for that journey.
yeah, I will.
Wired 80. Set.
Oh, you hope you get it on the first hike. Anywho,
One, hut two.
I'm gonna be hunting for a couple hours.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you'll have the first time your kid looks at you and smiles. That'll melt your heart. And then it'll be the first time you call them by their name and they are acknowledging that. And then they'll crawl to you and then they'll run to you, they'll give you hugs, give you kisses. Like it's all these little things, man. Yeah, there are times I just want to I just want to throw them through the window, but I mean he's got this cute little thank you, didn't you, Daddy? And that just melts. That just breaks your heart. It breaks my heart all the time because I'm like, man, come on, don't be that cute because you were just throwing a tantrum for 20 minutes about not getting knacks, which are snacks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, mad because he couldn't get a knack.
A knack.
Finally, give him a cup. You give him a cup of milk. He goes, "Thank you, Daddy." And I'm like, I mean, he takes his shoes off and puts them on. He puts them on the rack next to my shoes because that's where I put my shoes. So that's where he thinks he needs to put his shoes. I mean, it's stuff like that, man. I mean, you ask any dad out there. It's those little moments. Don't take them for granted, man. They're precious. Just enjoy it. Even though it might seem like there is no end in sight, there is an end in sight. So
Next thing you know, he's 16 and slamming the door in your face because you made him mad.
that's exactly what my dad said. Hey, I used to remember you used to run to me like that. And then there came a time when you never left your room until I yelled at you. I was like, oh, okay, fair enough.
Yep.
So yeah, man, I mean, I mean, that's really the best part.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I'm looking for all the pointers I can get. So, but I do want to say Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. I know this comes out the day after Father's Day, but I hope you all had a good Father's Day and got to do something with the kids or the wife or whoever celebrated with you. Um, yeah, that was my
How's
question
your
for
how,
you.
how's your week, man?
How was my week?
Yeah.
It was good. Like I said, I wanted to hit on the two things that happened this week that were
Okay.
exciting: the computer and the garbage disposal. Living an exciting life. No, work's good. Weather was kind of had some rain, had some chilly days, and I'm ready for next weekend. We're going out on the lake, which will be nice to have a day out on the lake with everybody and going golfing for Lucas's birthday in the morning
Mm-hmm.
and then my birthday's at the end of the month, so that's always something to look forward to, and it's right around the 4th. So, and we're going up to Michigan for a dual birthday party with my mother-in-law. We hers is on the 3rd, mine's on the 30th. So yeah, it'll be a good time.
Nice.
It'll be a really good time. I'm excited for the end of the month. I'm excited for the holiday, and unfortunately, we don't have the whole week off work like we have in the past before. But it's
You
all
guys are
good.
working? Really?
All week. I have Monday off, but I had to take it off. So kind of sucks,
Dang.
but um, it's all good. That means we're getting busy at work, so
It's true.
that's always a good thing.
Nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, other than that, everything's been good. I did want to hit on some things that are coming out or what has come out in the last couple weeks. As we record this, The Flash is coming out. I've heard really good things, and I do not like what's his face,
Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller. Yeah, I don't enjoy that Flash as much as I enjoy Grant Gustin. So, I'll probably still go see it just to see it. But if you've had a chance to go see it, by the time you listen to this, send us an email and let us know what you thought. Give us a little bit more of a background on it, so we know whether or not we want to go see it. I know Colton won't see it, but I would still like to go
If you
check it
could
out.
hear me shake my head no right now, listeners out there.
Yeah, yeah.
I have no desire to see
You
that
can
movie.
hear it rattling.
I will say this though. I will say this. There is potential for me to go see a DC movie. Why? James Gunn has come out and said that Blue Beetle is the first in the DC universe. So
You think it's gonna be good?
I
mean,
don't think it's going to
the
be
trailer.
good. I just feel look, I don't believe trailers anymore.
I know,
Trailers
yeah.
are all crap. So I think I'm going to give that movie a shot.
Okay, I'll be right there with you. So let me know when, where, and I don't even know when it comes out. To be honest with you,
I don't either. I don't either.
Eventually, I think we've talked about it on here before, but the other thing is Across the Spider-Verse. I just want everybody that's listening to tell Colton in an email, in a message on Facebook, that he needs to go see it because
I
I
do.
overly enjoyed it. And I know that we want to do an episode because we have somebody that wants to be a guest on that episode. And I'm just gonna hit up on this email here real quick because it talks about that. So it's ISO
Make sure you read the right one.
Oh yeah, I got the right one. This one's titled Spider-Verse. He said, "I'd be so down to be a part of the Across the Spider-Verse episode. I'm a huge Miles fan, and I just love that movie. So that would be top tier. My favorite '80s actor would have to be Denzel Washington. Love that guy. So yes,
Glory '89, great movie.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, ISO wants to come on to the Call Guys for a Spider-Verse episode. So you better go see the movie.
I better go see it. If we got
Okay.
ISO in the wings waiting, I gotta make it happen. So
I'd love to hear his live take on Tobey Maguire too. That'd
yes,
be so
for
good.
sure.
That'd be a fun conversation. But yeah, Spider-Verse. I loved it. I Nothing else to say. It was just amazing. I would go see it again and again if I could. Or I could, but I would.
Oh my.
Um,
Oh my.
The other one that very much so surprised me that it did so well was The Little Mermaid. we went and saw Across the Spider-Verse, and the lobby was packed, and it had come out like a week before, and
Yeah.
Spider-Verse had been out for 2 weeks, I think. And everybody in that lobby went to that showing for The Little Mermaid. And
Why are you surprised?
I don't know. I just heard everything I read about it said that nobody thought it was gonna be good, and it was just gonna be another Disney remake that nobody liked, and so
Hmm.
I'm happy that it's getting. So once it comes out on Disney Plus, I'll definitely give it a shot and watch it because I want to see.
Yeah.
I want
Same.
to see because
I'm not hearing bad things.
no, these past couple of weeks I've heard that like it's gotten good ratings. So like everybody else was surprised it was that good. So maybe it's just been disappointment after disappointment like we've had with
Well,
other
they
things.
need to get rid of that formula. Disney needs to get rid of that formula right now. They've got to stop making these live action movies of old,
Yeah, come up with something new.
timeless movies that don't need to be touched.
Yeah, come out with something new, Disney. Let's hear some. Well, they're trying that too. I don't know if you saw some of the trailers for like the
Elemental?
elementals. Yeah, and what was the other one? There was a one about a kraken. I don't know. You'd have to look it up. I
Oh, I
can't
don't
remember what it
know.
was called.
I know the Elemental ones is the one I've been seeing the most of. That one looks kind of good.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Inside Out a little bit. It has that same feel,
It's got that. I feel like it's got that.
animation
I wonder if I
style.
wonder if there's any like animation people that are from that
Probably,
realm.
probably, oh, probably guaranteed, guaranteed. And then the last one I have is that Transformers: Rise of the Beast came out. It does have a 6.6 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes right now. I
It's
didn't look to
about
see how
it's
many people
about
voted.
it's about it's about four points higher than I thought.
But I have one thing in my notes here is that I'm not gonna get my hopes up. So it might be really good. I don't know. So we
Doubt it.
will see. All right. Now it's time for the real question of the pod. Are you ready?
What up? Yeah, man.
Simple. What is your happy place? Do you have a happy place?
Just watching my grandma win big on the slots.
We changed it to an Adam Sandler episode. A little person on a tricycle.
on a tricycle.
What's oh gosh, what's her name?
I want to say Veronica, but I know that's not
No,
her
that's
name. That's a
Vanessa.
different one.
No, not Vanessa.
Vanessa. Mm-hmm.
Is it? No, Vanessa was Big Daddy. I can't think of her.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Carrying
can't think
two
of her
pitchers
name.
of beer.
Yep.
Yep.
Chubb's playing on the piano. I got my handbag.
So good. So good. Do you have a happy place? Do you have a place where you just feel good? Do you have a place in your mind that you can go, or is it an actual physical place that is just your happy place?
Man. That's a tough question, man. I feel like I don't really have one.
If you're watching on YouTube, you just saw Colton's wife walk in the reflection behind him.
She threw up the deuces as she was walking out. Currently struggling to get the door and everything she got from the basement. Slowly closed the door.
The commentary. Love it.
Yeah, I gotta look as she was closing the door. So, man, my happy place, man. I don't know. Like, probably I would say when I'm with my family, and it could just be us sitting on the couch. It could be with my side of the family. Like, I don't know, man. It's weird. It's not necessarily it's kind of like, Ragnarok, Thor, Asgard.
Yeah.
It's not a place, it's a people.
Yeah.
It's people. So, That's honestly, when I'm with them is probably when I'm probably happiest. So,
I mean that's kind of where I went to, but I was thinking like home, just being at home on like a weekend, not having any plans, like just being able to do whatever I want and relax. That's kind of where it's like you're the most happy. Like you get up every day, you go to work, you come home, you have to do stuff around the house and get stuff done. But it's those Saturdays and those Sundays where it's like being at home, being able to do something all day that's not forced upon you is I don't know. It's that's just where I feel the happiest, I guess. If Sarah and I can go do something where it's like the two of us and just relax while we do it, I feel like that's where I'm the most happy, at least.
I mean, yeah, I think that's I don't know. I think it says something that it's actually people and
Mm-hmm.
not a place for your
Yeah,
happy place, you know what I mean?
yeah. No, that makes. I mean, that does. I guess I just answered it with exactly what you answered.
I mean, that just makes more. I mean, I say this. I've been saying a lot at work. Is my pea brain mind can't comprehend a lot of things, but um, people is where we put our people are so important. I don't care what anybody says. Somebody always has that one person, that somebody, and for people to not, I feel bad for people that don't have a certain person that they feel safe with. You know what I mean? And I don't understand those people.
I'm glad you think of me like that.
No, man, I never would have thought that.
uh, I thought I was the one that makes you happy. I guess I'm not. Because I suck. No, that's just a fun question of the pod. Oh god, you were gonna say something.
That's a serious question
Oh
of the
gosh,
pod,
yeah, we're
man.
getting down in the dumps now.
No, not down in the dumps, man. These are hard hitting questions, man. That's how we get better. Is asking ourselves tough questions. Because if we don't ask ourselves tough questions, how can we ask someone a tough question?
Yeah, true. Well, we're gonna have to, on top of the question of the pod now, we're gonna have a Colton tip of the week and a hard hitting question, one of those serious questions that makes all the listeners really think. The call guys have gone
Done.
soft on us.
The call guys have gone soft.
But
DC sucks.
there we go. Now we're back, and we're back.
Oh my. No man, I like that question. I like that
Yeah, I'm
question.
at. Well, I guess I need to do some explaining on what today's episode is about.
Please do. Please do, brother.
So this week we're gonna start a series, but it's not gonna be a 5-part consecutive series. It's gonna be a 5-part series over the next year till the end of year two,
Year
pretty
two.
much.
Year two. It's a year
So
two series.
this series is gonna be our actor series. We're gonna pick 5 actors over the next 50 episodes, and we are going to talk about them. We're going to talk about their movies. We're going to talk about some of the other stuff they've done. We're going to talk about some of the stuff they have coming out in the future. Um, I think when we came up with the list for year two, it was just something that popped into our heads, and we said, "Yeah, that'd be fun." So, on top of this series, we're gonna have another series where we're doing the same thing, where we're gonna talk characters, and then at the end of year two, we're gonna do a genre series where we're gonna talk about different genres and movies that we like in those genres. So, I think that having these series is just more of a keeping us on track. We know we have so many slots we can fit random stuff in, but then we have to throw these in here and get these done. So um, I'm definitely excited for this series because we have some actors slated that are big and they do a lot of fun movies, and some of them aren't with us anymore. And um, so it'll be fun to talk about some of these actors and actresses. Um, but the first one that we're going to start with is somebody that was really big in the 80s and 90s, maybe early 2000s a little bit. Not as big now. Um, People love him for his involvement in the Mission Impossible series franchise, Top Gun Maverick. Colton loves him in The Color of Money. You can't forget that. um, it's Tom Cruise. Um, yeah, we're gonna start with Tom Cruise, and we're gonna talk about him a little bit. Some of his movies. We're gonna do our top three movies. We're gonna do our least favorite movie, and then some of our favorite quotes from.
Help me, Tom Cruise.
I don't think that was Tom Cruise.
That was
My
not. That was
favorite
not
Tom
Tom
Cruise
Cruise.
quote is when Will Ferrell said his name in Talladega Nights. Tom Cruise and Will Ferrell ever done a movie together?
I highly doubt it.
I'm gonna
I'll
call him up.
check.
I'm gonna call him
I'll
up.
check. Wait,
Hey
who you
there,
gotta call up?
Tom. Hey there, Tom.
Hey there, Tom. Got a
Hey
quick
there,
question for you, boss.
hey
Have
there,
you ever worked with
Joe.
William Farrell?
He would probably say, "No, I've never thought about it."
Whoa. Okay, I actually just thought of one that it is a super, super long shot, but you can keep talking. I'm gonna do a little bit of searching on this one.
Colton's doing his late night research for this episode. So let me tell you everybody a little bit about Tom Cruise. He was born on July 3rd, 1962, which makes him a 4th of July baby. And hey, he shares a birthday with my mother-in-law. Look at that. We just talked about that. Born in Syracuse, New York. His full name is Tom Cruise Mapother, Mapother, the fourth. So he's a fourth along in a long lines of Tom Cruises. Um, his father, Tom Cruise Mapother the third, was an electrical engineer, and his mother, Mary Lee Mapother, was a special education teacher, which I thought was
Let
very
me. I
interesting.
want to pause one thing here, real quick.
Go ahead.
This was the best move he has probably ever made in his career. Was changing his last name, quote unquote, to Cruz.
Or just getting rid of it.
Dropping his last name altogether.
Yeah.
Talk about a career move.
That would be
Because
a
I'm telling you, what the heck is his last name?
Mapother,
And,
Mapother.
and that's if you're saying it correctly.
Yeah, I don't even know if I am. I tried to read it multiple times and was like, I don't think that's right. But we're
I
gonna go with
mean, come on. That is a what kind of name is that?
it. I don't know.
Anywho,
Yeah,
I just wanted to, Tom, you've done some great movies. You've had some hits, you've had some misses with movies and in life, but you know what? That's the best movie you've ever made, and I'm willing to die on that hill.
die on it. Die on it. Um, Kind of an interesting fact that I found when doing some research on Sir Mr. Tom Cruise is that he said that in an interview that his father was very abusive and that he would call him the merchant of chaos.
Oh my,
Yeah, so I don't
that's not
know.
good.
I don't know if that's just the kind of person he was or what, but yeah, I guess him and his father didn't have a very great relationship. Um, so Tom moved around a lot as a kid. He attended 15 schools in 14 years. Along the way, he became involved in drama classes. During his fourth grade year, him and some of his fellow classmates put on an improvised play called It. And then this is what actually started his involvement in acting. During high school, he played 1 year of football, which is I just thought this was funny. He got kicked off the team after one game because they found him drinking a beer before the game. So then he went on to do more drama stuff and actually um, starred in his high school production of Guys and Dolls. So I'm assuming that was a really big push into his acting career as a young person. So
I would
um,
agree.
yeah, after high school, he started his acting career in the early years. He starred in a lot of films. In '83 was one of his bigger years as a young actor. He had The Outsiders, Risky Business, and All the Right Moves. And then he just took off. Started in a ton of big films in the '80s. Like I said, Risky Business, Rain Man, The Outsiders, Endless Love, The Color of Money, Top Gun. The 90s kicked it off with Days of Thunder in 90, and then went on to star in Mission Impossible and then Interview with the Vampire. And then on to the 2000s, had a couple major roles, but he also had a couple smaller roles too. Austin Powers Goldmember, Tropic Thunder, and some of the bigger ones being World of Worlds and The Last Samurai. And then around the last 12 years, he's had a little bit of everything. Rock of Ages, Top Gun Maverick, Jack Reacher, and Colton's favorite movie, which I'm sure we'll talk about later.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that's about all I pulled together from just a little bio on Tom Cruise. I'm pretty sure most people know him. He's got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He's been in just anything you can think of. If you like action films, Jack Reacher and Mission Impossible, and he's got some of his older action dramas back in the 80s and 90s, and then just some odds and ends stuff there in the 2000s. So, what do you think about Tom Cruise? What do you think of him overall as an actor?
As an actor, I really felt like he really pushed the boundaries as an actor, because this dude takes pride in doing his own stunts, and I appreciate that. I loved him. Mission Impossible was probably one of the first movies I saw him in that I can think of. So I that kind of caught me there with him, and then I just kind of snowballed into that. Of course, The Color of Money. I think that's a great movie, fantastic. Excited to talk about that. If I talk about it, I don't know if I will, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it might make the list. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know if it'll make the list,
I
but
don't know either, I'm sure.
but I mean, just going through, man, he's got such a good list of movies, and it just seems like he's been everywhere. But yet, you look through his IMDb, it's just like, yeah, he took a 2-year hiatus from Days of Thunder to Far, Far and Away, and A Few Good Men. 2 years. I mean, I think it's just Tom Cruise as a guy who's just always been top bill every summer.
Well, we talked about that last week, where we were talking about some actors that were like that, where it was every year almost consistently. And I mean, he's got a couple years there where he had multiple movies.
I think I might be on record saying that Tom Cruise is a poor version of Steve McQueen. Because we talked about Bullet, I think, with Cars. In the Cars episode with Lucas. And I think I might have said that, Tom Cruise is who he inspires to be like Steve McQueen. That guy. And he's obviously not Steve McQueen. I think Steve McQueen's way better. But I mean, he's a dude who's just plays that role so well. Have we made too many Mission Impossible movies? The answer is yes. Yes, we have.
But we'll hit on that before the end of the episode here.
But I will say this, is that you can never look into a movie that he's doing and say he's not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
Now, you could say he's trying too hard in most of his movies, but you can never say he doesn't give everything he has to the movie to make it as realistic as possible. And I appreciate that, because I just recently watched the Indiana Jones movies, and I think we might have talked about it, but it's in the early 80s, that first Raiders of the Lost Ark. And I think you might have said something about, just you could tell a lot of it is just doesn't look real or something like that. I can't remember.
I think my quote was, I went back and rewatched it a while back, and I just looked at it and said, damn, this movie's old.
Yeah. And I was thinking, man, I love that, because those are sets. Those are actual things. That's not CGI. There's not anything to it. It's just like old movie tricks to get you to make you think that they're in this huge, huge place, where they're probably just in a building or a warehouse filming this stuff. Like,
green screens everywhere.
Yeah, it's just, man, that's great. And that's the one thing that I really really appreciate about Tom is that he puts everything he has into it to make it as realistic as possible so they don't have to CGI or they don't have to green screen stuff. And I just really really appreciate that because I think that shows in his movies that gives it a little bit something better than another movie that could be out there that's just mostly CGI'd or green screened.
Yeah, which and now pretty much everything you watch is CGI or green screen or even like the Mandalorian where they use an actual like dome room where they project everything on there and they make sets out of it. Like it just blows your mind that they can do that kind of thing. And then you go back and watch an older movie and it's real. It's so real it looks fake. It's like actual sets, actual stuff, but it seems so fake because what they can do now is make everything look so real. And
Yeah.
it's just weird how that actually works out for some reason. But yeah. So overall, as an actor, I agree with you. I think Tom Cruise the fact that he does his own stunts and the fact that he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that, like base jumping and and skydiving, parachuting, whatever. Like he does it. That's his MO. I think a lot of people know about that because he's so upfront about it. Like I'm not gonna hire a stunt double. I'm gonna do this myself, which it's fun
Yeah.
to watch. And there's a lot of really cool videos of him out there doing that kind of stuff. But
And he does have a stunt double. Let's just make
oh,
that clear.
yeah,
He does have a
I'm
stunt
sure
double, but he doesn't want to use him as much.
he wants to experience it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
which
think he just wants it to feel real when the movie comes out.
yeah,
That was really him, holding on to that plane or, this, that, and the other.
yeah, exactly.
So so yeah, man.
All right, well let's hit up our top three list here. We both
Okay.
have made a top three list. We'll go three, two, least favorite film, one. We'll go in that
Perfect.
order. Um, and
Perfect.
I'm gonna start it out. Probably
Oh,
with one that you wouldn't think that was on my list, and it's in my list for a good reason. 2005, Steven Spielberg, War of the Worlds.
okay. Do
Um,
explain.
it's one of those movies that I don't think I ever read H.G. Wells' book, but I have
So
listened.
let's just clarify something. You just said on here you think you might not have read a book.
Yeah, yeah. But I know I've seen the cover,
Just say it.
and I know
Okay, I
I've
believe
listened
that.
I've listened to the broadcast before. It is
I
on
believe
YouTube
that.
if you want to hear it. It's really really cool to go back and listen to that old time. What was that 1938? I think I have it. Yeah, 1938 was the radio broadcast. It's one of those movies that it was the movie that I would watch that it was the cover of the eyes. Like it's so suspenseful, and as a kid, you're not necessarily afraid of thunderstorms, but like lightning striking close like that is like scary. Like it makes you really think. And then aliens coming out of that lightning and attacking and completely vaporizing people in the streets. And um, there were a lot of really good suspenseful moments, a lot of good action, and it was a interesting story, and it was a great rendition of the story. And it is kind of more nostalgia at that point, but I just yeah, I've always enjoyed it, and I think Dakota Fanning plays his daughter, and
Yep.
um, but yeah, I've always enjoyed it, and I don't know why they're trying to get to Boston so he can get the kids to their mom. They're divorced, and it's yeah, it's kind of a fun, scary, suspenseful movie. And I've always liked it. And the CG was, I'm sure if I went back and watched it now, the CG's not great, but for the
I'm sure
time
it's
watching it,
not.
I'm like, those big robots are taking people out. And the other thing is the myth that lightning doesn't strike the same place twice. And he says that, I think, in the movie, and it strikes like three times in the same spot. And that's what freaks him out. So
Hmm.
fun
Yeah,
movie.
I wouldn't have pegged that one for you.
I've seen it so many times, but it's been a long time. So maybe I'll have to pull that one
Very
up.
nice. Very nice. Man, I struggled with I had three tied for number three. Collateral with Jamie Foxx. He's a hitman
Mm-hmm.
driving around LA, I think, and it's just a fantastic movie. Really, really enjoyed that one. I didn't pick that one though. The ever loving Les Grossman
Mm-hmm.
didn't make the list either. Tropic Thunder, the agent for Ben Stiller's character. Well,
I've
the
got some quotes here in a
boss.
little bit.
Oh gosh, it's oh god. Oh man, talk about a role that you never would have expected him to be in ever.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, just the movies that was leading up to that was, Third Mission Impossible, War of the Worlds, Collateral, The Last Samurai, Minority Report, Vanilla Sky, like, and then all of a sudden, and then that year, same year, Valkyrie. I don't know if you know what that movie's about, but it's about essentially the plot to kill Hitler
Yeah.
and how it was foiled because they changed the meeting from inside of a building to the outside. But that's a whole nother story. Um, but yeah, it just out in left field, and he's got a bunch of
He's
makeup and
balding.
prosthetics on. Yeah. And it's fantastic. And man, but my number three, Stacy Jacks, baby, Rock of
Oh
Ages.
yeah.
This is a guilty pleasure movie for me because the music is just fantastic. The cast is amazing, but him being Stacy Jacks, I felt like it was almost they just said, "Hey, play yourself,
As a rock
but
star.
as a rock star." Yep.
I
And he's
absolutely
like,
love that movie.
got it. And I was like, I thought he nailed it. I love that role in him for him. That was great. It was fun. Like I said, the movie is not great by any means, but the soundtrack is fantastic. And I just think he did a really, really good job with the role he had in that movie.
Oh man, Russell Brand's in it.
Oh, Russell Brand. Oh,
Yeah.
Mike. Oh gosh. I mean,
Yeah, you have to pull it up.
Julian Huff,
Yeah, Huff. There you go.
Alec Baldwin,
Yeah,
Russell Brand, Bryan Cranston,
yeah.
Paul Giamatti, Catherine Zeta-Jones. What's her? Oh gosh, I can see her face. I want to say Whitney Houston, but I know that ain't it.
I
Um,
will say I disagree with you on. I think that it is a good movie and it is a good soundtrack. Like I
Mary J.
love this
Blige.
movie. There you go, Blige. I love this movie.
I'm not saying I don't. I'm not saying I don't love this. I'm not saying I don't love this movie. I'm just saying it's one that I'll watch once or twice a year, but I'm watching it because of the music.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, I feel like this movie, to me, Rockstar has taken this place for Rock of Ages.
This one right here.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Um.
that movie.
No, I can
But
watch that movie anytime.
it is a fantastic. I do enjoy the movie, but I just don't think it's a good movie.
I will say I didn't put it in my top three, but I do love it.
That's fine.
It's
That's
hard, like
fine.
you said, it's hard to choose. There are so many good ones.
Oh my gosh, there's too many good ones.
Yeah.
Too many good ones, especially at the end, like to slam it into that third spot. It's like,
Yeah. You just roll a
my
dice,
first
flip a
two, I knew
coin.
right off the bat. First two were solid, like done. Third one, I was like, I started going down his list. I was like, man, oh,
Yeah.
it was tough. It was tough.
Yeah.
What's your number two, man? And does it make you cry?
Doesn't make me cry, but it's just such a good movie, and we've talked about this movie on the podcast before. Top five, I think it was sports movies, possibly. I think it ended up in that. 1990, directed by Tony Scott, and that is Days of Thunder.
Ooh,
Um, First shown to me by my buddy Cole, and we've talked about this Cole Trickle. Um, it was
cold trickle.
yeah, it's a fun movie. It's NASCAR. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of fun racing scenes. Tom Cruise does an awesome job. I mean, it's fun. I've always liked it. I don't watch it that often because I'm not really into racing that much, but just good memories, and so it's a fun movie to watch, and it's fun to go back and watch it just to see young Tom Cruise racing around in a race car. But yeah,
Very
that's my number
nice.
two. What's
Very
your number
nice.
two? Does it make you cry?
It does not make me cry, but it is The Color of Money.
Also, a movie we've
Uh,
talked about many times.
Martin Scorsese, for throwing out directors now, 86.
I always put the director, man. What are you talking about?
Oh, wait, I probably should do a better job with that. But yeah, this is a different Martin Scorsese movie in my opinion because it's just it's not really a mob movie, so it's like,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's a sequel, and I put air quotes around that. It's a sequel movie to The Hustler, which is my all-time favorite black and white film. Paul Newman does a fantastic job reprising the role of Fast Eddie, and he pretty much just rolls up on Tom in a pool hall, and he is his brakes. He hears that sound on the brake, and it catches his attention, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, like we could make some money." I mean, Paul Newman goes to, "Let's make money, let's hustle people." Like he didn't learn that lesson. We got his hands broke in that movie, but he's an idiot. um,
Learning
personal
now.
personal opinion. If you gotta get your hands broken, you still want to gamble. Come on, how smart can you be?
Yeah, do you learn your lesson?
You can't be very smart.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just, it's about coaching him and grooming him into being a pool hustler, and then you know Paul Newman does what Newman does best, is look out for number one. And the only thing I don't like is the ending of this movie. Is they get to this tournament, and it starts and it ends on a break. That's it. That's how the movie ends. And I was like, well, now what?
Yeah, back when they didn't make part twos for anything, so you'll never know what happens.
Exactly. So, like I said, this movie is my number two. I think Cruz does a fantastic job of playing a cocky character, and that's exactly what this character needed to be. And it kind of reminded me a lot of the original Hustler, the Hustler movie, where Newman was that character
Mm-hmm.
when he met Minnesota Fats,
Minnesota
and
Fats.
going through what it takes to, that tragedy he has to go through is tough because he's got to swallow a lot of pride, and he has that redemption story, and finally gets it back at the end somewhat. So yeah, I mean, just The Color of Money. It's my number two just because it's the sequel of one of my all-time
Yeah,
favorite movies.
very nice.
So, all right, brother, what is your least favorite Tom Cruise movie?
So we talked about this earlier on the phone, and I'm not going to take your answer.
I've
So,
actually got a different answer.
oh, you do? Okay, so here's what I'm going to say is that the one that we both know is a terrible movie is The Mummy. It's a horrible,
Yes.
horrible follow up to the
Why
Brendan
would you?
Fraser films.
Why?
Yeah,
It,
we don't need to talk about it. It's just not good. I mean, I've watched it twice because I think the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, maybe this is good, and it was bad. The second time I watched it, I was bored, and I was like, was that good? I don't remember. So I've seen it twice, and I regret watching it both times. Um, but my real answer is going to be the second Jack Reacher film, and I didn't really enjoy the first one because it came out in the era of all of these movies like that, right? It was like everybody was trying to be Jason Bourne. Everybody was
oh
trying
yeah,
to like do that skillful like get like spy kind of thing. Yeah.
situational, tactical, elite soldier.
Yeah, and it's just to the point where it was annoying, and I just didn't think it was as good as some of the other renditions of that kind of character. So I'm gonna put the second one up there because the first one wasn't horrible. The second one just is not good, but it's all that wash, rinse, repeat kind of thing that we always talk about, and You just it's nothing special, and it's
Cash grab.
yeah, exactly. And Tom probably just wanted to do another movie and said, "I want to
You
do
know,
something."
I wonder.
But yeah, it's like all those movies like fed off of each other somehow.
Yeah.
But what about you? Least favorite? Since now you don't have the Mummy as your answer, I'm curious.
Well, we also talked about Night and Day, the Cameron Diaz movie, and I just that movie is just terrible. But I think there is a worse one.
Okay.
It might catch some backlash, but I don't think I will. But if I do, let us know at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com and let me know how loud wrong I am. But it's Mission Impossible 2. That movie is garbage.
And you just rewatched them not too long ago, didn't you?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. I thought you did.
I rewatched the first one.
Okay. Gotcha.
I saw the first one. But the second one, oh my gosh, how awful is that?
Mm.
Young, I gotta pull it up now. Because I think the thing that made it terrible, and it wasn't this guy, is John Woo. John Woo killed it.
Oh,
Not in
yeah.
a good way.
Not in a good way.
Not in a good way. Like, throw him off through this movie off the cliff. Like, his style of shooting a movie, I just thought was not right for this.
Yeah. Well, you get, especially like, that's one of those you want to kind of wash, rinse, repeat, right? You want it to be not identical to the first one, but you want it to have a similar feel. And
It just did not, man. John Woo, what did we do, bud, here? What do we do? Oh, we did Face Off. We did Face Off. That's probably his
Hey, that's a winner.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah, that's a winner. I'd say so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at, we got Paycheck. Okay, I give him that one. He did Wind Talkers.
Wind Talkers.
Just not. I just no.
You think John
No.
Woo got anything newish?
2017 Manhunt.
Hmm.
I couldn't tell you.
Gotcha.
I could care less. But anywho, yeah, I felt like the reason why that movie did so poorly was just the way it was shot and how it was trying to go for something, and I just felt like it missed, because I felt like, you're right, it didn't really follow much of the first movie, and then to see how the next movies turn out, like, this is the sore thumb. Like, this is the one that does not belong in this 19-part movie series we are currently struggling through. But
well, while we're here, while we're talking about Mission Impossible, let's hit
yes,
this real quick.
hit it.
Well, I mean, not really a reason we chose Tom Cruise. We chose Tom Cruise because he has just so many movies in his filmography. But Mission Impossible does have a two-part. I'm hoping
The end. It's the end. It's the end.
They say that until they reboot it with somebody else. But
That's
yes,
fine.
so Dead Reckoning will have part 1 and part 2, and I think that's gonna be, is that this year?
Yeah, it's supposed. I mean, it's 23. I thought it was supposed to be coming out.
I think I saw a trailer for it not too long ago, and
Yeah, I mean, they've got trailers out for it. It's probably going to be like they're saying July 12th of this year.
It's coming up quick. All right, it's
So
coming out
yeah, pretty quick.
And it'll be a two-parter. So I guess
Yeah, and then
you're a
the
big
next one
Mission
comes out a
Impossible
year
fan.
later.
Yep, you're a big fan. Better
What?
be ready. If you're a big fan, you better be
Oh,
ready. All right. So,
number one, man.
number one, and this is a hard pick, because I went and saw Maverick in theaters and loved it. Just the intensity, the overall the cinematography,
That's the
plane
second. That's the
stunts.
second Top
Yeah.
Gun movie for those who
Yes.
don't know.
Yeah, sorry, Maverick. Yeah, I mean Top Gun Maverick. Just everything felt right. Everything felt like it was filmed well. All of the stuff that was filmed actually inside the planes. Now there were a lot of things that were out of the box that wouldn't make sense, and like the G's that he experienced, he probably would have died. And I mean, it's an action movie. What do you expect? The way that they were flying over the mountains and like the skillfulness of everything that happened is very probably unrealistic, obviously, but um, it was a very fun movie to watch, and it was a good callback to the original. But I don't know that I can pick that one over the original because the original is just so good, right? But so I'm gonna give them a tie for number one. It's Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick. So I grew up watching a lot of those '80s movies, early '90s movies, and I've always enjoyed watching them. And then this is one of those sequels that came out so long after, and it actually worked. So I think both of these movies deserve awards and awards and awards because they're both fun.
So I'll say this: everybody that knows me, and somehow Top Gun comes up in conversation. Um, I need this confirmed because for some reason I have doubt in my mind that this might not be real, but I'm pretty sure it is. My dad was at the time when that
Oh
movie
yeah,
was
I heard this.
that Top Gun was being filmed, and let's just get the date down because I want to make sure.
Oh gosh.
Top Gun, where are we? Top Gun 86. Yeah, that sounds right. Okay, that feels right too. So my dad and my mom were living out in California during that time because my dad was in the Marines, and he knew a guy that worked on the set for the Top Gun movie, and they were going to be an extra in the volleyball scene in Top Gun. But my mom was so sick from being pregnant with my oldest sister that they didn't go and they missed out being in the movie.
And
So
it became so
could
popular.
it could have been. But my mom used to always say that she would just talk about that and she would always just say that Goose never really did it for her. That's the only thing she would comment. I really need some confirmation on that. So if any of my family members are listening to this, please let me know at thecallguyspodcast or gmail.com or just call me.
Is it true? I need to know.
I need to know if that's true because that is a great story. Because I know my dad tells a story of when he was because he's in the Marines, that they dug a lot of pits for a movie called Heartbreak Ridge, which is a Clint Eastwood movie about the invasion of pigs or something like that, the Cuban crisis, and he actually helped dig some of those sets,
Nice.
and I don't think they were fun to do, but
Oh,
I mean, that's
interesting.
just something else he was a part of out there. So
Yeah.
that would be really cool to know that we missed out. My parents missed out of one of the
Being
most
in
one of the most remembered scenes of Top Gun, the franchise, the two movies. Everyone knows if you say the volleyball scene in a
Oh yeah.
movie, everyone's going Top Gun.
Yep. Yep. And
So
wasn't it football in Maverick? I'm pretty sure it was football.
I think it was football. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, well, good list and fun stories. So I mean, that's what's fun about this. We do have one more little thing we want to talk about here before we get out of
Do you
here.
want my number one?
Oh, did you not give your number one yet?
No, I didn't.
Oh, we just started talking about Top Gun, man.
No, man, Top Guy. I could that.
Okay, let's hear it.
Not a big.
Sorry.
The Last Samurai.
Oh yeah, another movie we've talked about.
I know we've talked about it. I love that movie. It's a great movie. I love the history of the samurai, learning about it that way. Just another movie that Tom Cruise completely dives into head first and just gets immersed in his role. And I just really love that movie. Just a great movie. Great movie.
I didn't read really anything about him being like a big method actor or anything though. So I don't think he really like immerses himself, but he definitely gets into his roles.
Yeah, I don't think he goes like, lives like 6 months as it, but I think he definitely does research, and I think he wants to do a good enough job that he does the right amount of research in order for someone to come up and say, yeah, you didn't do that right. He'd be like, no, I did it right. Like, this is how.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, just a great movie. One of my favorites. It's one of my very first movies that I remember going to with my dad, where it was just me and him.
Nice.
Um, yeah, and so yeah, man, that's my number one.
Sorry, I skipped you over on that.
No, man, that's cool. That's
That was
cool.
like a full
I was,
conversation about Top
I
Gun.
know, I know. We were having a story. We were having a story time about it. So yeah, man, that's my list of movies. You got any good? What's your favorite? You got any good quotes?
Yeah, you can always go with I feel the need for
The
speed,
Need for
or
Speed.
the big show me the money where he's yelling that.
Dang it! You took mine.
Oh, sorry,
No,
but
you're good.
Tropic Thunder.
Oh Lord.
So many good quotes in Tropic Thunder. Um, the a nutless monkey could do your job.
No, oh my gosh.
um, the universe is talking to us right now, and you gotta listen. And then take a step back and f your own face.
Oh, why didn't you take a step back?
Yeah. So, Tropic Thunder, I think, has most of my favorite quotes. My favorite Tom Cruise quotes. Obviously, in his older movies, he has some that are a little
Help me help you.
Yeah, there you go. What do you got?
I love the black man, Jerry. I love the black man. Yeah, but I mean, you took mine. I feel the need for speed.
Yeah.
Um, and then we got I can't think of any right now. But you took them. The first two you said. I
Show
was
me the
like,
money.
yeah, show me the money, Jerry.
Yep.
So yeah, man. That's about it, really.
Nice. Yeah.
So
Definitely not as quotable of a actor, I think. I mean, he doesn't really have any of those big movies where you want to like quote every word he says. Not like
no,
some of them that we do here in the future.
he's got more of an action feel to him. Be like, oh, I'd love to drive like any of the plane stunts in Top Gun.
Yeah.
Like to be in the back seat on one of those. That would be awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna take all those G's. Yeah. All right, you got anything else you want to say about the old Tom, my father?
Saved his career is what he
Saved it.
did.
Yeah. I mean, how many actors out there have changed their last names? And I'm sure there's tons. So
Oh, it
maybe we'll have some later. Who knows? But yes, Tom Cruise, everybody. So yeah, let us know what your favorite Tom Cruise movie is. Favorite Tom Cruise quotes. Anything about Tom Cruise. If you have any information or anything about his bio that you want to tell us, let us know. Anything that you know about Tom Cruise that we didn't cover, love to hear from you. Send us an email, thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. And Colton, if you don't have anything else, I'm gonna get us out of here.
Take us away, brother.
Take us home, because I got the need. The
The
need for plugs.
speed.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to the Call Guys podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcast, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to check us out on YouTube. We release a video every Monday when we release the podcast on any of your favorite podcast sites. You can also check us out on all your favorite social media sites, whether that be Facebook at facebook.com/thecallguyspod, Instagram at the Call Guys Podcast, or TikTok at the Call Guys, Instagram at the Call Guys Pod, or TikTok at the Call Guys Podcast. Too many names. Yeah, and we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email, thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. And like we've mentioned the last couple episodes, we do have a new website for all of the podcasts, so you can go check that out. It's goldenmojoent.com. Merch store on there, bios on there for us, and just a little bit of everything. So if you want to go buy a shirt off there, you can. If you're a sweatshirt, there's a onesie on there if you have a little one. So some Call Guys merch, some merch for all the other podcasts, and those podcasts include the Golden Image podcast, the Murdnerds, and the Indiana Chiefs fans who are on hiatus, the United States of Paranormal, A Court of Books and Booze, and the Golden 80s podcast. go check out all those podcasts wherever you get your podcasts. All their information is always in our podcast notes on all of our posts on social media. So yeah, go listen to all of them and give them your feedback. And please, if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, rate and review. You can do that for all the podcasts. We'd appreciate it if you went that far. So, like I said, if you ever want to get a hold of us, we're always willing to answer emails, messages on Facebook, anything like that. So feel free to
Oh
do
yeah.
that. And we have some fun stuff coming up. We have some fun episodes we need to get scheduled to actually do. So we're excited to get a hold of those and start doing those. So Colton,
Love you,
love you,
brother.
brother. You know it. All right, everybody out there in podcast land, thank you for listening to the Call Guys podcast. We'll see you next time.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.